Thank you for tuning in to News Talk 98.7 WOKI. This is Jim Brogan. You're listening to More Living. And here in the last segment, we've got some special guests in studio. We have Brian Barger, Christina Harrell, and James Harrell. And we're going to talk about the Butterfly Fund. And we're going to kind of get an update for how things are going and talk about their upcoming fundraisers. Of course, we at Brogan Financial sponsor their 5K, which will be this summer. But they have their Black Tie Gala coming up. And so we just kind of want to get an update on all that. So, but first, let's just kind of review for those of you listening that aren't aware of the Butterfly Fund, kind of why it's been started and what it's all about. Brian, let's start with you. Why don't you tell us a little bit about Emily?
Sure. Emily was diagnosed with a rare form of childhood cancer in January 2007 called rhabdomyosarcoma. We did radiation chemotherapy through November that time, and then she was declared, I guess, NED, which is no evidence of disease. May of 2008, it came back, bigger, badder this time, and pretty much, we tried more chemo, more radiation. She just couldn't make it. June 24th, 2008, she passed away. Yeah, it was a long, tough fight for her. It was just, after the chemo and radiation, it was just more than her body could take. When they pull a football-sized tumor out of her chest, it was just way too much trauma.
Yeah, I just, every time I hear that story, I just can't imagine, anybody that has children. Now then you all, you met the Harrells.
Actually, I went to high school with James. We graduated together. Class of 89, or we had 89 people in our class, Madisonville High School class of 1992. It was, everybody knew each other.
Right. You became reacquainted under unfortunate circumstances. Yes. Christina, why don't you tell us a little bit about Maddie?
Well, Maddie was 4.5 when she was first diagnosed in October of 2007 with embryonal rhabdomyosarcoma. And she went through surgery to remove the tumor. She went through 32 weeks of chemo and 6 weeks of radiation. And all of this took place, the chemo took place at East Tennessee Children's Hospital. And she was doing great. Her scans were coming back clear, and she was living life as a child should, going to school and playing with her friends. And ironically, like Brian said, Emily relapsed in May, and Maddie relapsed in June, about 3 days later after Emily passed. And we were faced with a situation where the cancer had come back and essentially shut off her large intestine. And so, therefore, we had to make the very uncomfortable decision to keep her comfortable and let her go on to bigger and better things. And so, therefore, Maddie passed away 3 weeks after Emily passed away, and July 13th, 2008. And so we came together with the Bargers, and we had such a wonderful support group. All of us did. And we just felt like it couldn't stop with the passing of the girls. So we came together, and that's how we formed our organization called the Butterfly Fund, and it is a component fund of East Tennessee Foundation.
And you have your 4th annual Butterfly Fund Black Tie Gala that's coming up. James, why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
It's 2 weeks from today. It's March 24th at Hunter Valley Farm in Knoxville. They're out in the North Shore area. We're excited. We're going to have Coach Bruce Pearl speaking as our MC this year. We have musical entertainment by the Coveralls, which they're great. If any of the listeners out there have heard them. Silent auction items. Dinner, drinks. It's a great night. The proceeds, as we mentioned, go to support childhood cancer research and services. And the largest organization we like to support is East Tennessee Children's Hospital here locally. So the proceeds that we raise on March 24th are going to go help families here in East Tennessee as they battle this terrible disease.
I think that's a great point, that it's kept local right here in East Tennessee. Folks, children are our future. Cancer is just such a horrible thing, and I don't know anybody that doesn't know somebody or have somebody really probably pretty close that's been affected by cancer. And, it's horrible no matter what the age, obviously. We have several people right now that are currently going through a lot of those struggles. When it affects a child, I'm just so passionate about the kids, and they're our future. We talk about all these challenges that we face, in our country with our aging population, so much of what I hear from the people I talk to is we got to protect our kids. We got to protect their lifestyles, on their health. We got to figure this thing out with cancer, and I can't think of a better thing that you could get behind and support in children's cancer research, especially kept in the local community. Talk a little bit more about your other upcoming fundraising events. There's the 5K, there's a golf tournament. Talk a little bit about the other things.
We've got 4 primary fundraisers each year, and each year we kick it off with our Black Tie Gala in the early spring, which, as I mentioned, March 24th. We follow that up in April with a children's gala we call Butterflies and Bow Ties, and it's also going to be at Hunter Valley Farm on Sunday, April 29th. And this is an event we have characters dressed up like princesses and superheroes and different games and stuff. And it's really just an opportunity for mom and dads and children to come out and enjoy an afternoon together. Our third event each year is the 5K, as you mentioned, and this year it's scheduled for August 18th along Cherokee Boulevard in Sequoia Hills. It's just a beautiful route along the water and the beautiful homes there in Sequoia Hills. And this will be our third year for that event. It's really growing. I think last year we had over 1,200 participants, so we're really excited about that event. And each fall we wrap up our endeavors with an annual golf tournament, which is at Fox Den Country Club, and it's scheduled for Monday, September 24th.
So a lot of stuff coming up. How can people find out more about the upcoming events?
Well, we have a website, www.butterflyfund.org. And on that website, you can look at our events, and also find our information to contact us directly by telephone or email.
So the most upcoming one, of course, is in 2 weeks. Their Black Tie Gala. Go to butterflyfund.org and find out more about that. And you know what? Try to come if you can. It's a great organization. They also have a need for silent auction items. That's a big way that they raise money at these events, is auctioning off things in a silent auction that you might be very, very interested in. There'll be a wide variety of things. If you're a business owner and would like to do something to get behind, or even if you're not a business owner but you'd like to donate something or purchase something that they can auction off, I just can't imagine a better cause. So go to butterflyfund.org and check out all their upcoming events, but particularly look at the Black Tie Gala event coming up. See if there's a way you could get involved and help support this great charity. Can you give us a quick update of over the, let's see, y'all started, what year did you start the Butterfly Fund?
2008. And
talk to us about what you've been able to raise over those 3+ years. Do you know what that number might look like?
Going into the Black Tie Gala, we've raised $250,000 here locally, of which we have granted soon to be $75,000 to Children's Hospital to support families here locally. We've been able to establish an endowment, so after we're dead and gone, the Butterfly Fund will still exist and still be able to provide services and support to organizations. And we've also been able to support Cure Search, which is a national organization dedicated to childhood research.
That's fantastic. Brian, Christina, James, thank you so much for being with us. Again, check out the Butterfly Fund at butterflyfund.org. Try to get involved, just to even come to the event and purchase tickets, or if you'd like to give a silent auction item, there's definitely a need there, and it's a great charity. So thank you so much for being in studio with us today and for all that you're doing.
Thank you.
Absolutely. It's our pleasure.